Kang Dynasty has finally officially been cancelled. Well, it's been turned into Avengers Doomsday, starring none other than the incredible Robert Downey Jr., making his MCU return as the incredibly fearful Dr. Doom. So on Saturday, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige surprised the entire crowd at San Diego Comic-Con when he announced Robert Downey Jr.'s return to the MCU as Dr. Doom, or Victor Von Doom. Downey, stepping forward from a crowd of green robes to reveal himself on stage, tore off his mask to screaming cheers from the crowd. New mask, same task, he posted of his return. For anybody wondering if after a challenging couple of years, if Marvel Studios could chart a path that would instantly earn back the trust of fans, the studio's panel at Comic-Con seems to suggest the answer is a resounding yes. During the panel, it was revealed that 3 additional movies, to the ones that we already know about, are gonna happen. Now, we don't know what these movies are, so let's talk about what we do know. Doomsday is gonna hit the screens in May of 2026, and then you get Avengers Secret Wars in May of 2027. And the old band is getting back together, with the Russo brothers set to direct after helming Infinity War and Endgame, and a couple of Captain America movies. Anthony said, "Joe and I truly believed Endgame was the end of the road for us. In the time since, through a special story, we have come to potentially see a road to take with you all." So, Captain America Brave New World electrified Comic-Con on Saturday, with cast members Anthony Mackie, Tim Blake Nelson, Danny Ramirez, and Giancarlo Esposito all hitting the San Diego fan event to tease the superhero sequel set to take over screens next February. It was also revealed that the casts of Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts would be part of the next 2 Avengers films, so Doomsday and Secret Wars, we think. Anticipation was high for the Fantastic Four movie, which was announced to be called The Fantastic Four First Steps, coming to the big screen on July 25th of 2025. The cast of Thunderbolts, including Florence Pugh, David Harbour in his Red Guardian suit, we'll talk about that in a second, Sebastian Stan, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus were in Hall H to promote the upcoming team-up movie, set to come out on May 2nd of next year. The first trailer for the movie was shown, but it was exclusive to the Hall H crowd, so we're not going to see it online yet. David Harbour got a lot of laughs by showing up in full cosplay, his, Soviet-era Black Widow character. In true David Harbour fashion, he was like, "Why didn't everybody else dress up?" Apparently he sent them an email. He had a whole plan. Now this film stars an assortment of Marvel villains and anti-heroes. We've got Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova, Sebastian Stan, Wyatt Russell, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Filmmaker Jake Schreier brought the first footage to the panel, which revealed that apparently Julia's bringing together the team. One curiosity though, the film's title still has an asterisk at the end, but Kevin Feige in true fashion was like, "I'm not telling you anything." Apparently, back in April at CinemaCon, he said it will be clear by the end of the movie, so we gotta wait. Over the last couple of years, there have been a lot of reports, a lot of quotes, a lot of insights into so-called superhero fatigue, but apparently Wyatt Russell, who will reprise the role of John Walker, so US agent in Thunderbolts, has assured fans that the upcoming team-up movie is going to bring something different in the franchise. Apparently it's time to make a good Marvel movie. He said, "But it's not a straightforward Marvel movie as you've seen in the past. I think that it's going to be a lot of fun, but I think it will be something that hopefully Marvel fans will look at and go, oh okay, this is a little different. Let's go hard at it." The segment was kind of light on any details or specifics, with the actors obviously not being able to say too much about their characters' arcs. The inability to give proper answers was something even Russell acknowledged. "I just say I don't know, and you get pure joy," he said when he was looking at Kevin Feige, which we get the reference. We love the joke. I know the Fantastic Four franchise is one thing on everybody's minds right now, and we did get some fun reveals on that front. Filmmaker Matt Shakman said on stage that filming was beginning this week, and he teased it would be inspired by a retro future version of New York. He also showed off a 1960s style science film that teased the team's origins while showing the humanity and personality of the characters. The superpowered group's casting was officially announced back in February of this year, and on Valentine's Day, it had a cute retro Valentine's Day card, so we already know the main core for it. We also know that Julia Garner is going to be playing Silver Surfer, and rather than playing, Norrin Radd, she's going to be playing a version of the character based on Shia Bal, Norrin Radd's lover and ruler of the planet Zenla. Ralph Ineson is set to play the big bad Galactus, and it was kind of implied that everybody was already in London getting ready to film, but in true Marvel fashion, the studio was pulling a fast one. We got a whole lot of folks on stage. We got Pedro Pascal, our new Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, Vanessa Kirby, Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, Joseph Quinn, Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, and our new The Thing, Eben Moss-Bachran. Quinn said, "We are all collectively going to bring an essence that is a family. Rather than thinking about what individually we are going to bring, it's a team sport." So fingers crossed we're going to get that big family feeling. Among the revelations was a look at the Fantasticar, which in the comics is their flying vehicle. A model version flew across the stage as it was to fly the cast to London for their shoot. And honestly, it made me want to watch the first Avenger again, just to compare it to Howard Stark's invention. Michael Giacchino, an Oscar-winning composer, will score the film. Well, the script has contributions from Eric Pearson, Josh Friedman, Jeff Kaplan, and Ian Springer. Also, Peter Cameron, WandaVision, has worked on the screenplay, so please, hoping it's good. In terms of the new Captain America flick, it was the late in the panel surprise arrival of Harrison Ford that left the biggest impact, as the film icon took the entire audience to, well, massive applause. Footage from the movie was screened during the presentation, and it did confirm that Ford's Thunderbolt Ross will indeed be transforming into the Red Hulk in the film. And Harrison Ford gave the crowd exactly what they wanted, mimicking the Hulk's mighty roar. Look, who hasn't been waiting for Red Hulk? So MCU newcomer Giancarlo Esposito joined the cast on stage and answered the questions that we've been wondering since his casting was announced in May. What villain is he going to play? The answer turned out to be the King of the Serpent Society, Seth Volker, aka Sidewinder. The panel showed off footage that pointed to a political thriller. We heard Anthony Mackie's Sam Wilson say, "This is BS, sir," to, well, Harrison Ford, who was playing President Thunderbolt, and he was like, "I'm growling, this is politics." Then the reel went into action mode. But it was the room-shaking sounds of his transformation into the Raging Red Hulk that had everybody cheering. Well, everybody there and everybody at home. Doomsday was probably the biggest reveal of the weekend, since previously the Avengers 5 title was Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. However, that kinda had to change because, well, Jonathan Majors was kinda dropped by Marvel Studios. So after the Robert Downey Jr. reveal sparked initial applause, there's been some heavy discourse online, and not all of it is in favor of him. Dr. Doom is a big character. He is a long-time adversary of the Fantastic Four, and he is a complex, intimidating villain who boasts like any kind of mastery over magic and science. He hides his face behind a mask after his good looks are slightly scarred. Doom is considered to be one of the most iconic villains in Marvel history, and comic book fans have been waiting for the character to be introduced to the big screen. Like Tony Stark, Doom is an eccentric, charismatic genius with a huge ego. But the Good Doctor is meant to be a unique individual, not just another version of Iron Man. Allegedly, somewhat confusingly, Robert Downey Jr. is not playing Doom as a twisted multiverse variant of Tony Stark. He is Victor Von Doom, the comic-accurate character, a brand new addition to the MCU. The Blade movie didn't even earn a mention at the panel. So this upcoming movie, that will allegedly star Mahershala Ali and introduce the character to the MCU, has kinda been trapped in developmental hell for some time. And after all this, there seems to be little sign of a resolution. Even though it was supposed to start filming in summer of 2023, it's been continuously delayed because we had all the strikes, there was more production issues, and then you get all the scheduling conflict. So when it was first announced, it appeared to be a perfect fit for Marvel Studios. We've got a brilliant award-winning actor who's taken home Oscars for his work on Moonlight, Green Book, and attaching that to an already proven franchise was a great decision, given that the original movies earned over $415 million back in the 90s. This reboot could have easily found their spot within the MCU, especially after we've already gotten a little bit of supernatural horror. Look, we all remember Werewolf by Night, right? But unfortunately, like I said, there's been a number of unfortunate production issues. So, it was first announced in 2018, and we already had our big name attached to the project, and then you get that little, off-screen cameo role in Eternals, which, Eternals, we love you, we hate you. And there was intention of following up with the movie, but then Eternals underperformed at the box office, and just underperformed in general, sadly. So then we had to retool everything, which kind of began the beginning of the end for Blade. And that's all, folks. I've been Alexa. See ya!